Hello everyone, welcome to Forensic Science Academy, Science for Justice. Today our topic is Basic Principles and Laws of Forensic Science, Class 3. Talking about the principles and laws, in forensic science we have 7 principles in total, out of which 5 are principles and 2 are laws. The first principle, as it goes, principle of individuality. This law states that every object, either a natural object or man-made object, has an individuality which is not duplicated in any other object. Nothing but this law states each and every object has its own uniqueness which cannot be replicated or which cannot be duplicated into other object. For example, we can take currency notes of 500 rupees. They look similar, you know, and each and every 500 rupees currency notes, they look similar, but they have their individuality as a serial number that is individual to each and every currency note. And another example we can take, if there is a manufacturer company designing some sort of laptops, we can say, it designs a one particular model in various quantities, but each and every laptop has its unique identification number, or we can say the MAC address number. So that's how this principle of individuality works. Then we have principle of exchange. This was the principle which was given by Sir Edmond Locard, where Edmond Locard states that whenever any two objects come into contact with each other, there is always an exchange of minute particles or trace evidence between them. So generally, we can say it as every contact can leave traces. So whenever there is interaction between two sort of materials or matter, there will be exchange of their particles among each other. For example, we can say uh, the finger transfer of a fingerprints onto the glass, or we can say the transfer of our cloth fibers onto the we can say the cars, the seats, or onto the beds, onto the sofas, anything we can say. Then we have law of progressive change. According to this law, everything changes with passage of time. In other words, there is nothing permanent in invariable. Okay, this law, the law of progressive change states that everything changes according to the as the time passes away. For example, if we leave a crime scene unattended for a certain period of time, there will be the evidences which will lose their evidential value, like blood. It will tend to degrade as the time passes. So everything has a progressive change. This is what this law states. Then we have principle of comparison. According to this principle, it is stated that only likes can be compared. For example, there is evidence, blood. So the blood should be compared with blood. It should not be compared with saliva or semen. And if it is a human blood, it should be compared with a human blood. And if there are bite marks, they need to be compared with the bite marks. They are not supposed to compare with the tool marks. This is what the principle of a comparison says. According to this principle, only the likes can be compared with the likes. Then we have principle of analysis. The principle of analysis states that the analysis can be no better than the sample analysis. So here it means the correct sampling and the correct packaging should be necessary for the right analysis purpose. Okay, if the sampling or the correct packing is not there, will be contamination of the samples, or we can say the degradation of the samples, which may lead to the errors in the examination. So there should be proper sample analysis. As it says, the analysis should be done with the proper sampling and is necessary for the right analysis by the expert. Then we have the principle of probability. This principle is based on the fact that the identification, with whether it is definite or indefinite, are made with consciously or unconsciously on the basis of probability. So it determines that there are the chances of occurrence of a particular event. So a event can be there is a chance that a particular event can be occurred in various ways. Out of that number of ways, we have to guess. We have to take a probability, like what will be the outcome of that particular way. If it would have been done in such a way, what would have been the outcome? For example, if there is a crime scene reconstruction, depending on the evidences and depending on the sketch we have, we need to work on the principle of a probability to construct a crime scene, where we have to think various ways, how many ways the crime might have been occurred, and what if the crime has occurred in one way, and whether it leads to the outcome or not. So this is what the principle of probability states. Then we have the law of circumstantial facts. This is nothing but the facts don't lie, but men can do. Well, for example, there is one suspect whose fingerprints have been found, in a crime scene, but the person denies that I was not present in the crime scene. Then there will be a question like, how come your fingerprints are present? So this is nothing but he is completely lying, and the facts, they do not lie. So the law of circumstantial facts, states that the facts do not lie, men can do. Thank you for the class, and please do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Okay, that's all for today. We'll meet you in the next class.